Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we've got a lot to talk about. There's so much going on right now, including this week, I've already tried 2 new indie games. But the question is, how did they do? Were they good? Did people like them? Are they something that we want to play further on stream? Well, we're going to break down both Quarantine Zone and Hytale, talking about the highs and lows, how they went, and if you think that we should play them again. But in addition, we've got an update on Arc Raiders. Notably, this week I attempted to play it 3 times instead of the usual 2. People have been asking for more Arc Raiders, and so I wanted to give you what you want. But already I'm starting to feel like maybe I made the wrong decision here because last night's stream just didn't go so well. But in addition to that, you may have noticed that this last week there's another YouTuber by the name of Repzion who's been joining me for a couple drops here or there in Arc Raiders. And you might be wondering what's going on with that. Well, let's talk about it on today's show. Let's figure out maybe exactly what's going on and get to the bottom of it and see, how that's going to pan out in the future. In addition, this morning, there's huge spoilers in regards to Forza Horizon 6 release date. And when you hear who actually spoiled it, you're going to laugh your ass off. Because yet again, Xbox is botching everything. So, we've got a great show. Sit back and relax, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, let's get it going. It's time for the Level 1 Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. How y'all doing? What do you mean muted? No, I was actually having a nice internal dialogue that only I could hear. So I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome to the show, everyone. We got a good one here today. I hope you're ready to play games, chill, and have a good time with me on this lovely Wednesday, the 14th of January, 2026. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 Podcast. It is time to get started, shall we? So, with so much to talk about, let's just jump into a couple quick and early topics, all right? Number 1, as you know, I like reacting to stuff on this show. If there's a new game announcement, if there's a trailer, if there's some kind of gaming news, this is the place where I like to really talk about it. Not to say that if someone asked me randomly, say during a gameplay stream or something, that I wouldn't answer the question or bring it up, but the Level 1 Podcast is the focused place for me to actually talk and address about that kind of stuff, right? And so, we have a couple events that are coming up. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, yeah, see? We have a couple events that are coming up that I'm going to be covering, and I want to talk about what they are and how I'll be reacting to them. Huh. Interesting. This is a rack that I have to put my stuff on now. It holds both my controller and my headphones. And it actually wirelessly charges my phone as well. So I just started using it a day or two ago, but I haven't figured out the right positioning for everything yet to get it to work. Anyway, so, yeah, we have 2 events coming up. Number 1, this coming Thursday, that's tomorrow, the 15th of January. Capcom is doing a special Resident Evil Requiem event in the middle of the afternoon. And it's going to show gameplay elements, expose plot devices, all kinds of stuff to get people hyped up for this game. I'm all for it. But the thing is, it's right smack dab in the middle of the afternoon when I'm going to be streaming games. So I will be reacting to all of that on Friday's Level 1 Podcast. okay? So if you want to see me react to the Resident Evil Requiem stuff, the gameplay elements, whatever they show in that presentation, you're going to want to be here on Friday morning, okay? Now, next week, on the 22nd, which is, again, Thursday of next week, Xbox is doing something very similar. They're going to be doing a big digital presentation where they're going to be showcasing games like Forza Horizon 6, Fable, and this other one that the name eludes me that I didn't even know existed, but I guess it's a third Xbox Studios game that's currently in development. So they're going to do that show, and again, I will likely go ahead and react to that stuff on next week's podcast on Friday morning. All right? So, yeah, no live reacting. I'm doing my normal schedule with gameplay and the like, but I will be reacting directly to that stuff the day after on my podcast. It's the best place to do it. People seem to like when I do it that way. Okay? So there you go. That's next week. Now, the funny part about it is Xbox probably won't have as much to talk about on that show as they thought, because this morning there was a leak. Okay? And you might say, okay, there was a leak. Well, man, I hate that these hackers keep data mining these companies. And I really hate that sometimes these release dates, you know, they leak when someone, like a company from over in Europe, decides to say, oh, pre-order the game now, and it comes out on a certain date, and you're like, oh, they spoiled it, right? Except that's not what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, Xbox spoiled their own Xbox announcement. You ready for this? If you own Forza Horizon 5 and you go into the game right now, there's an in-screen pop-up that says pre-order now, Forza Horizon 6. Get the pre-tuned Ferrari. Discover the breathtaking landscape of Japan and over 550 real-world cars. Become a racing legend. Pre-order Forza Horizon 6 Premium Edition or get the premium upgrade featuring early access and play 4 days early starting May 15th. Oh. Oops. And you might say, well, they just got the date wrong. They were off by a week. Well, no, the Xbox presentation is the 22nd. That's more than a week from today. So they literally leaked their own release date and all the information about their upcoming game in a pop-up in their previous game instead of waiting for the presentation next week. Now, is it a big deal? No. But it's just yet another example of Xbox effing everything up and being completely off base, doing things wrong. This is not the right way to hype up their new game. People are very excited for Forza Horizon 6. We haven't had one in many years. And people are looking for a bunch of information, and they spoil it all before the presentation. At this point, Xbox is like a comedy of errors. Like, everything they've done in the last 2 years has been a huge fatal flaw. And they just continue down that road. They're just not really doing very well. I can't imagine who works for the Forza team who did this, and now they're probably got so much egg on their face because they totally were not supposed to spoil this information ahead of the presentation. Yeah. Kind of embarrassing, no? I mean, again, it's supposed to be one of the big game development companies out there, and they can't even keep their own lips zipped when it comes to their information. So, it is what it is. Not a huge deal, but hey, the thing is, this is something to be excited for. I'm excited for Forza Horizon 6. I love the Forza Horizon series. And the fact that this time around, I'll now be playing it on PC with my wheel accessory, the pedal. It'll be like actually driving a car. That's a really cool thing. All right, I'm very excited for that. And good stuff, okay? All right, so folks, now it's time to talk about the more important topics this morning. What's been going on in my content this week? The 2 indie games that I covered and how well received they actually were. How often or whether or not we're even going to play them again. I want an update on Arc Raiders here because we definitely need to talk about this. Me increasing the amount that I played and it kind of has backfired. And of course, a YouTuber who's been trying to become a part of my content. And some people are questioning this guy's intentions. We're going to talk about all this today. All right, we're going to blow the lid off this mother. But first, I have a couple quick shout-outs to do. We start off today with Daddy Big Bucks, who auto-resubscribed with their subscription over on Kick, and so that does count for today's support. Thank you, Daddy Big Bucks, for the auto resub. And we just got our first super chat of the day from Jeff Latoy, a $2 super chat saying, are we going to be playing Black Ops 7 anytime soon? Honestly, it's a good question because it's just been such an uncertain thing. Sometimes when I play Call of Duty, people are excited. Sometimes I play it and everyone complains it sucks. Sometimes I play it and I do really well and then no one cares and no one supports. So it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do? And that's been a question with the schedule is, what do I put more time into? What do I focus on less? It's been a daunting task to figure out exactly what to do. I'm with you guys here where it's like, seems like every single week the schedule is a little different. I know. And I wish that we could more solidify what we're doing, but there's new games coming out that we're experimenting with. And it's weird because I swear sometimes a game like Arc Raiders or a game like Call of Duty will do incredibly well. And then the next time I play it, it doesn't. So it's all over the place, right? To directly answer your question about Call of Duty, Jeff, right now the answer is I'd like to play it again. It's not going to be this week, okay? Maybe it'll be next week. I absolutely, positively would like to play Call of Duty again, but I need to know if people are going to show up and engage and support with it. I need to stream things people want. And the last couple of times that I basically streamed it, it didn't do so well. Maybe waiting a bit to play it and bringing it back will work. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I'd love feedback on that. Are there some people out there who are craving Call of Duty and who would come back and you know, hang out with me and support it if I played it? I mean, let me know. I want to know. The truth is, I was having fun because with my new setup and new equipment and everything, I was getting better at it. And the better at it that I got, the more fun I was having playing it, having positive kill-death ratios and unlocking these rewards for the weekly challenges. I had the new sniping drone and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. But people weren't really along for the ride with me. They were more bored than anything else. And I'm like, well, that sucks. So that's why we didn't play it this week. Okay? Let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of feedback I get. How y'all doing? How's everyone doing today? Who do we got today? We've got Island Livin', Chris, Copium, Dave, You're Not Funny, Pepe, and Korok Seed Jr. over on YouTube. Who do we have here on Kick? We have Xenon, Hype Gone Quick, you get it, Raven Esports. Let's see, it's Zero Gaming, Mr. Bobobo, Legend Lurker, Maestro David, Toxic Element, Real Crown Prince, and more. Most Tasteless is here too. Cabal is here. Grandmaster Scrub is here. Whip Smecker is here. How you doing? Cabal just made a good point. I actually would like to bring this point up. Cabal just said, some people are under the impression that a game has to be good to be fun. That's not true at all. I mean, case in point, we played Code Violet on Friday. It's the most broken, garbage, buggy piece of crap I've played in a very long time, but it was fun to play for the hour I played it, but I wouldn't want to play it further than that hour. But in regards to Call of Duty, it is addictive. It is competitive. When you play, you never know what's going to happen. And it's a very unpredictable game, Call of Duty, right? At any moment, we could end up having a great stream. We could end up having a bad stream. It could be a great night where I'm kicking ass and we're doing kill streaks, and then all of a sudden I get crushed. I think the ups and downs of Call of Duty make it entertaining. But particularly, I've been doing better recently, so I've liked it more. But again, I can't make that translate into you guys liking it. All I can say is I'll try my best, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And it just didn't work last time I tried. You know what I mean? Jade, good morning. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. You're Not Funny says PewDiePie says some of the buggiest messes could make for the best playthroughs. And I know that from experience from the past. If you remember, years prior, I would play these weird games that wouldn't necessarily be the best games. They'd be busted and broken, but I would play through them and they'd be hilarious, right? So I'm right there. I agree with PewDiePie on that note. But the thing is, you have to have people actually come by and hang out and want to be a part of that content. Notably, here's the thing. All right, here's what I like to do. Before we start talking about Quarantine Zone, before we start talking about Hytale, before we start talking about Arc Raiders, I want to show you guys how things have been doing. This is something that I rarely do. But I said, you know what? Rather than just sit here talk about it, why don't I show you? And you might say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, what I'm going to do is just refresh the page here. I'm going to actually show you how everything's been doing on the channel. All right? So, this is DSPGaming right now, live, okay? We're 166 of you here live on YouTube. There's probably around 80 on Kick, I would assume. I don't know, but I think probably like 80 viewers on Kick. And climbing because typically we get more over the course of the podcast. Although today we are doing Pokemon, so maybe we won't get so many. I guess we'll see. But just to show you, what happens is on YouTube, they give you this feed that says For You, and basically what they do is they try to hand select certain videos. Usually it's the latest uploads from the creator. But just to kind of recap how things have been going, okay? So Friday I played Code Violet. That has done better, all right? No exaggeration, than any video that I have put out since the Asmongold interview. And honestly, even if you go back further in the year, which you can, you'd actually see that only 1 or 2 videos this year have performed better than that one. And that one only came out 4 days ago, right? Well, I guess technically 5 days ago now. And that's crazy to think about because really when you think about it, I put out a lot of videos. You would think that something would have caught on more than that. No. I think the only 2 videos that did better, there's one video at the launch of the Switch 2. I said it was a ripoff, which it was, and it still is, by the way. And there was another video when Silent Hill F came out, and I said, it's basically garbage. I don't like this game. It's really bad. Outside of that, this is the biggest video that I've done all year. So, pretty crazy to think it's just a terrible game. It's the first new release of the year, and it's so bad, people really enjoyed watching me riff it for an hour, right? Now, also, Fed Roger just made a good point in chat. He goes, well, it just goes to show that negativity always brings more eyes and attention on YouTube. I mean, you're right. On YouTube particularly, that's always a pattern. That negativity will always breed more attention for whatever reason. You can argue that it's because people are just toxic and people like drama, and you're right. Like, there's really no other explanation for it. That's pretty appropriate to say, is that, yeah, people just like dramatic content. They like to see something burn or be sucky. And that's a little sad in my opinion. I do feel like I wish people would like positive content more than negative content, but that's just, I guess, par for the course on YouTube. It is what it is, right? Okay, so outside of that video, which did incredibly well, how has all the other content this week been doing? Because a lot of times people say, oh, Phil, you make knee-jerk reactions. You don't judge things right. You should give things more of a chance. Let's take an actual look, all right? So taking a look at all the content that I have put out this week, in fact, what we should probably do is just scoot back just a little bit, all right? Admittedly, Pokemon last week did not do well. The Pokemon stream kind of tanked. I paired Pokemon with my most disappointing games countdown, and it didn't do well, the stream itself. And Pokemon got very few views. Now, the thing is, we're at the end of Pokemon. Today may be the conclusion of the playthrough. I'm playing it for a very small audience, but that audience is very engaged and very supporting. So today we will play it, see if we beat it, and if not, if it needs one more stream, great. But man, it's been a wild ride. We've been playing it since October. It's been a great run. I hope that you guys are here for the conclusion. If you're someone who's been along for the ride with me, I certainly hope that you guys will be here today after the podcast to see how it ends and to give it a send-off, okay? Now, I also that day did the most disappointing games countdown, and I did remove it from here, but what we can actually do is just click the videos tab and see how it actually did. So remember, the disappointing games countdown, okay? Put a lot of time and effort into that. I went through all the games for the year that I was interested in, in saying were disappointments to me. I had to think about what I wanted to say about each particular one. I had to get video clips of all of those together and set them all up, and I had to set up the stream with everything. And then we did it, and the stream didn't do good. It didn't, okay? It was a lot of work, and it just didn't do well at all. The video itself got about 2,800 views. Now, honestly, that's pretty good. For a video of mine to get 2,800 views in less than a week is actually good numbers for me. But it's just a lot of effort and work and taking away from gameplay streaming to do it to not really have any impact. All right, there was a time back in the day when I would do these series and they get 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 views. So it would be worth the time and effort to go into it. It's just not really doing those numbers anymore. To be honest, it seems like the only people who were actually asking me to do the year-end series this year were my legacy viewers, people who've been around for a long time. Most other people were like, so what's the next game you're playing? Okay? So it may be, very well may be, that we're in a situation that maybe the year-end series just don't make sense anymore. You know what I mean? Like maybe instead of doing it as a formal series where I sit here for hours streaming my top 10 games and my worst games of the year, whatever, maybe we just talk about it on a podcast. Maybe this is the year-end recap podcast. And on that show, I tell you my favorite games of the year. I tell you my most disappointing games of the year. It's just a podcast episode, you know? I definitely think that might be one of the things that I do now, because putting all this time and effort into it, it's not paying off anymore. It doesn't seem like that many people care. All right. Notably, I told you guys that I still want to do my Game of the Year awards, and I also want to do kind of the best episodes of DSP Tries It from last year, because we did it so often. And I was thinking, okay, well, we'll do it, but I don't want to do it this week. I just want to focus on games. And now I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do it. You know, because again, that's a lot of effort putting all the videos together and getting it all into a setup where I can stream it or whatever. And I'm like, is anyone going to care? Or is it just going to be a dead stream? You know? So maybe we just do it as like maybe later this month on a podcast, maybe next week or the week after. It'll be DSP's Game of the Year awards on the Level 1 podcast, and all I do is I run through the 10 games that I thought were the best, and I tell you each one and why I liked it, and then we go from there. Okay? And then I don't have to put together all the videos. I don't have to do all that. I just go through a top 10, and that's it. Because the days of me being an on-demand content creator, making these kind of videos, are long gone. I'm a live streamer now. Like, this is where I'm prominent. This is where I get attention and engagement. It's not the on-demand videos. Like, even if you look at this video, it's got like maybe 100 likes. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, there's no traction there for the channel. Okay, just being honest. So maybe I don't work on it like that anymore. We'll see. I'm going to think about it in the next week or two. Okay? But anyway, so we've got that, and I just wanted to highlight that because sadly, with all the work I put into it, I was hoping it was going to do well, and sadly, it just really hasn't in perspective. Okay? So looking at all the stuff that I've done this week, Clear Obscure doesn't get views. It never has. I mean, even the back in June, it wasn't getting views. But we're near the end. Probably 2 more streams, we're going to beat Clear Obscure. Okay? RimWorld started off very strong and has petered out. And what I mean by that is just take a look at the views declining on this series. There's also been less people to the streams, although I will admit this, there has been great support. Every time that I've streamed RimWorld, the people that are there are very engaged and are helping me out to learn the mechanics of the game and to do better at it. And the stream ends up being a success. So maybe in the case of RimWorld, initially there was excitement because, oh, it's a new game or whatever. But then after that, it didn't really matter anymore. So, you know, maybe it's not a big deal where it's going to get tons of hype or whatever, but maybe I continue it as a series as long as people keep showing up and the streams do well. Okay? So RimWorld right now, I'm not displeased with or whatever, and I am playing it as the late stream tonight. Now, here's a shocker, to be honest with all of you. Street Fighter 6 has returned, as you know. I played it for Friday Night Fights. Shockingly enough, Street Fighter 6 is currently the most viewed playthrough that I'm doing. No exaggeration. It beat the new games that I played this week. Street Fighter 6, look at the views. I don't know why. I really don't, because when I used to play Street Fighter 6 all the time, it didn't get these views. Like, we were down to 200, 300 views a video when I was making this series, you know, end of 2024, early 2025. People just didn't like it anymore. And now here we are a year later. I haven't played it. I come back and it gets this kind of views. Now, to be honest, did I do well? Well, I did good for someone returning to Street Fighter after a year of not playing it. But overall, I lost more than I won. Like, I think Lily, I had a positive win-loss ratio. But both Honda and Dalzim, I did not. The game kept matching me up with Masters, High Masters, and Grand Masters. These are people who I have never stopped playing. They have literally non-stop played Street Fighter 6 and never took a break. And those are the people that they matched me with. So how was I supposed to do well? I mean, you're not going to. But I did hang. Like, they weren't awful matches or anything. And people apparently did find a good time with these videos. They're enjoying watching them. Like I said, they came out Friday. They all have over 1,000 views, and that's better than most of my gameplay videos. So, yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. And that is returning Friday night. We're going to use Zangief and Blanca this coming Friday night. So, if you were into it for Friday Night Fights last week, I hope you'll come back and join me on Friday night. And by the way, for the record, I do all of this. Just so you know, you see everything you're looking at right now. This is all me. I do all of these thumbnails, titling, uploading. I don't have an editing team. I don't have people that do all my work for me like a lot of YouTubers do or pay people to do. I do all this myself. So all these thumbnails and everything, I made all of these as I uploaded the videos. Okay? All right, now let's talk about the 2 new games in the rotation. And in fact, let me hit refresh just to be sure that we have the latest update on the performance of these videos. So on Monday night, we tried a new game called Quarantine Zone: The Last Check. Okay? This game is published by Devolver Digital, and it features a checkpoint during a zombie outbreak, whereas people come into this checkpoint, you're scanning them for signs of the virus. If they're clean, they go to a safe house. If they're blatantly infected, you have to liquidate them. And if they have signs of infection, but you're not sure yet, you put them into a quarantine to give them some time and see what happens. There's also elements of base defense where you fly a drone around and shoot zombies in the street. And there's also base management where you have to buy resources, do upgrades, and the like. It's kind of a unique game. And honestly, after that first stream playing it a couple hours, I had a good time with it. And it looked like the game was unlocking more. Like every single time that we had to do the checkpoints, there was a new element. Whether it was looking for bites, looking for scratches, looking for discolored eyes, looking for bruises. Then it was, take a look at their pulse, take a look at their blood pressure. Then it was reflexes. When you hit them on their joints, do they react in a certain way? And they kept adding new elements to it, making it more complicated and more interesting. So I liked it. And the game, was getting more difficult the further in that we got. Overall, that stream did well. People showed up for it. They engaged. Support was pretty good. It certainly wasn't overwhelmingly abundantly positive, but at the same time, it actually went pretty well in that regard. I would say, yeah, that was a big success. I would like to play that game again. And likely we're playing it again tomorrow night on the late stream. Okay? Now, what about yesterday's game, Hytale? So Hytale is a game that is currently in early access. It's from a group of game developers that used to be server modders. Like they used to actually have like a modded Minecraft server back in the day. And they were hired to make a game. And so the game that they made looks and plays like Minecraft. Now, it's a little different because it has different elements than Minecraft. For example, it has an active battle system that's much better than Minecraft's. The crafting and building is way more streamlined and more fun to do, honestly. And on top of all of that, there's just a lot more to the game when it comes to exploration and incentive to do so. Because unlike Minecraft, where you have an experience system, whereas you do things in Minecraft, you get levels, and those levels allow you to put experience into enchanting and doing things, right? In regards to this game, it's all based on exploration. If you actually leave your comfort zone and you go out to new areas and you discover new enemies, new creatures and animals, new kinds of plants and the like, the more you discover, you unlock more to do, all right, in the game, which is awesome, okay? So I played it for around 3 hours yesterday. Attendance was good. Engagement was half and half. And what I mean by that is half the people who attended liked the game. Half the people absolutely hated it and said that it was boring as dirt and it's just like Minecraft. And if you're going to play Minecraft, go play real Minecraft, not this knockoff. So it really was split down the middle in that regard. Support. Well, here's the truth. The stream was not doing well with support at all. And then I brought it up and immediately someone did a very large contribution. Okay. And then after that, a few other people contributed. So by the end of the stream, it had done pretty good. But the thing is, it took me bringing it up and one person giving a large contribution for it to even be a good stream. And that's not the kind of thing that you want to rely on. You know, when I played Quarantine Zone, that was a whole bunch of people coming together and saying, we like that Phil's doing a new game. This is exciting. Let's support it. With Hytale, it pretty much was one person. Okay? So that makes me nervous. And to be honest with you all, this also makes me nervous. So Quarantine Zone's views, 1,000 views on part 1, 700 on part 2, and it's only been out about a day. That's not bad at all, especially for a small indie game. Hytale. Not doing well at all. Okay? And to be honest, here's the other thing. People over yesterday were like, oh, well, aren't you aware that Hytale is going viral? Seems like a lot of content creators are playing it now. Asmongold is playing it today, and he says that he really likes it. And I'm like, that's great. It doesn't matter. It doesn't translate for me. You know, I'm different than everyone else. I'm not one of these viral content creators where everything that I do hits the algorithm and everyone finds it. And, oh, DSP played this game early, so now he's going to get all these cool early launch views. As you can see, not at all. Not even close. I got a couple hundred views on the videos. That's not good at all. Okay? And the thing is, this is what we got to expect this year. Ups, downs, wins, losses, things that work, things that don't work. Okay? In this case, a game like Quarantine Zone stood out. Never played a game like that before, right? Very unique, interesting premise, adding more gameplay elements the further in that we go. People really liked the stream and actually said, yeah, please do another one. I think I will. In the case of Hytale, it's a game that's very much like Minecraft with tweaks. So if there was a big demand on my streams of people saying, Phil, play Minecraft, we really want more Minecraft, I'd be like, well, maybe we should just play Hytale, right? But in this case, the game's not doing well. We had one person who did a big contribution that allowed the stream to do well, but no one's really watching it after the fact. You would have thought if this game is virally popular and everyone's talking about it on the internet right now and everyone's playing it, including Asmongold, oh, everyone's going to watch Phil play, 222 views in a day. Yeah. So, it's that simple. No one really cares about certain games on my channel, and there's nothing I can do about that. Doesn't mean I don't like it, because my personal take is that I actually did like Hytale. And we were getting to a point where it was getting interesting and I wanted to do more exploration. And I wanted to try to do more things. We had just unlocked the ability to do better crafting because we had found all these ores. We had found, copper, iron, and gold. And I think we even found steel. So I was going to start refining and doing better equipment and then going and venturing out further. But it's not performing at all. It seems like people don't care about it, right? Again, what you have to understand with my channel, it almost never shows up in search. It never shows up in related. Even though I was someone who played it incredibly early yesterday morning, no one saw it on YouTube. No, it didn't get sent to the algorithm. This is literally views from my core fan base, and that's it. Nobody else cared because no one found it. That's the problem with DSPGaming. And this has been a problem for me for many, many years. I don't know what else to say. That's just the situation, is that I don't show up in search. Okay? So, if you were to ask me, out of the two indie games that I just played, which is more interesting and which would I want to play again? My answer is Quarantine Zone. And I think we're going to do that again. In fact, looking at the schedule, I'm pretty sure that I set that up for tomorrow. Yep, we're going to play it as tomorrow night's late night stream. We're going to give it a second look. We're going to see if it adds more interesting elements. And we're going to see if the game is fun and people will come by and hang out and support it again. I hope so, because I like it and I want to do it again. So that's going to be for Thursday night's late night stream. It's going to be Quarantine Zone again. All right. Now you might say, well, what about Hytale? Okay. Well, I'll answer that question with a question. What about it? I bought it early access. I played it on launch day. I did everything that you guys seem to think would have been exciting and would have worked, and it really didn't work. If one person hadn't done a big contribution, the stream wouldn't have done well, and the game's not performing well as an on-demand series either. The only situation where I would go back and play Hytale again is if I get an abundance of people who contact me in the next week and are like, Phil, the situation's changed. The game's very popular now. If you play it again, your stream will do better. We'll show up and we commit. We'll support it. Then I'd be like, okay. I'm just not foreseeing that happening. I'm foreseeing that if someone's going to get views on a game like that, it's going to be Asmongold. It's going to be a big streamer who has the audience and has that opportunity to show a game that's lesser known to that audience. And now that audience will actually catch on and maybe check it out. I'll give you an example. All right. Were you aware that Among Us, the game that is now insanely virally popular for many years, has made a ridiculous amount of money and all of that, right? Were you aware that Among Us was out for years and years before it ever was popular? No one played it. No one knew about it. And then all of a sudden one day, a popular streamer streamed it and their audience saw it, talked about it to other big streamers. The other big streamers then tried it. Next thing you know, Among Us is one of the most popular games in the world. Out of nowhere, simply because a big streamer played it. Not because some little rinky-dink guy of my stature gave it a shot, but because someone huge did, right? These kind of games, I have no problem checking them out, but this is a lesson that we have to learn over 2026, that sometimes we'll check out a game and it'll be interesting, like Quarantine Zone, because it's actually truly unique and something that'll maybe be awesome for further gameplay. And then other times there's going to be something like Hytale, where it's just not going to work. And that's okay. I want everyone to understand that too, like, because I think people will be upset or, oh, Phil, that sucks because everyone else is playing it. Yeah, but I'm not everybody else. I'm not. Just because I play a game that no one heard of doesn't mean that all of a sudden thousands and thousands of people will now try it. It doesn't happen that way. I'm not popular. You have to understand, I'm not popular. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with the audience level that I have and the level of success that I have. I really am. In fact, I'm blessed to be as successful as I am with the level that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, people usually who only bring in a few hundred views per video and only get a few hundred viewers per stream can't make a living doing it. But I'm lucky because I am in that situation. I'm incredibly grateful for it, and thank you to everyone who makes that viable. But what we have to figure out is that not every game is going to work, and just because it's virally popular elsewhere doesn't mean it will work on this channel. And right now, I can tell you it didn't work. And even if the game's becoming more popular now, it's not equating to views here. In fact, watch this. While we've been staring at this page for the last 10-15 minutes, these videos didn't even get a single view. Not one view. While we were talking about it live, no one thought to go click on a video. I'm serious. If Asmongold farts on something, 1,000 people flock to it. Do you see the difference? It's called scale. I don't have the scale of these big people. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so, and by the way, someone said that's jealousy. What's jealousy? I'm stating a fact. Again, I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with the level of success that I have, but things that work for the big boys don't work for me. And vice versa. There may be things that work for me that don't work for them, right? So, FYI, I think we're going to play Quarantine Zone tomorrow night. I don't think we're playing Hytale again. Maybe that will change, but I don't foresee that changing in the near future. I don't know what possibly would turn around interest for Hytale on DSPGaming. I don't know. I don't know how to make the game look better. I played it for 3 hours and I gave it an honest shot and I really analyzed it compared to Minecraft and I told you what I liked about it. What else can I do? Okay. Now continuing on, we're going to talk about Arc Raiders next because I actually have a good amount to say about Arc Raiders. Where the hell is Arc Raiders? There it is. But before we do, a couple shout outs. So first off, Casanova, thank you for re-upping your membership for a whopping 52 months. I appreciate your support, Casanova. And then we have, let's see here. Definitely Not French, who did 500 kicks and says, I liked Hytale. You can't let trolls dictate your content with negativity. This has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the amount of people who showed up, engaged, supported, and then watched after the fact. And as you can see, attendance on the stream was good. Engagement was 50-50. Half the people said they liked it. Half the people said they didn't. Support was basically dictated by a singular person who did one giant contribution. Most other people did not. I mean, I streamed the game for an entire hour and I made $7. Okay? And after the fact, the views are awful. Right? So obviously it says to me, we don't want this game. All right? It's cause and effect. I analyze the reaction I get from content, and I decide if I'm going to continue with it or not, and it looks to me like no one cares about that game. I'm sorry. I mean, it's factual. I'm not making it up. You just saw it in black and white. I'm literally sitting here talking about the game for 15 minutes, and the views didn't even go up by 1. That means no one cares. Okay? Cool. Now, thank you for the 500 kicks. Can you see if a video gets hyped? Yes. If a video gets hyped and you click on it, it says hyped under the video. It wouldn't say on this page, but it would actually say on the video itself. So like, for example, if I were to click on this video right here, and it were hyped, it would actually say hyped down here. So I don't know if this one's still hyped. This one was hyped at one point. I don't know if it still is. Probably not. The hype probably ran out. I don't know how long the hype lasts. But yeah, it looks like the hype ran out for that one. So. Ooh, Wings of Redemption Depression stream. I gotta check that out later. That sounds like fun. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, but it usually says under the video if it's hyped or not. Okay? Okay. So. Oh, that's right. Arc Raiders. Let's talk about Arc Raiders, folks. Because I got a good amount to say about this. All right? So, Arc Raiders, here's the deal with this game. Okay? Arc Raiders. Personally, I like Arc Raiders way more than I ever thought that I would. I actually never suspected that I would like Arc Raiders. And then when I tried it and I started to understand it was very different than what I had understood it was going to be. And I played it more and I was like, oh, the graphics are good. The gameplay elements are actually quite sound. Ooh, it's addicting to try to get the pieces of loot to do the upgrade and stuff that you want to do. So I've been playing it for over a month, as you can see. Sadly, the playlist doesn't really... I wish this would show you the full playlist and the views on each video, but it doesn't because it's stupid. YouTube is just dumb. It cuts off at 12. We're over 20 parts in. At this point, I think we're like 25 or so parts in. Arc Raiders is doing all right. It's not doing great. And what I want to show you, if I actually just show you the latest videos of Arc Raiders, you know, they're only 12 hours old, and the views aren't great. They'll get more views over time. Don't worry, they will. Undoubtedly, they'll gain more views. But it's just not doing great. It's doing okay. You know, the hype for Arc Raiders, or me playing it, already died out. It's been over a month since I've been playing it. That's not shocking. What's going to happen is Arc Raiders, if it's going to continue to be successful, will be more for a dedicated audience that come by for the streams, and then maybe we get a few views after the fact, but it's not going to be this ongoing element of an amazing hyped series or anything like that. All right? So, two things have happened in the last week regarding Arc Raiders that I would like to talk about, okay? First off, you know, can I go to the Arc Raiders playlist? I wonder how that works. Can I just click on the Arc Raiders playlist? All right, everyone, hello. Well, it plays the video. I guess I'll just do it from this screen, okay? So, in regards to Arc Raiders, all right, here's the deal. You guys said you felt that I wasn't getting enough progress in Arc Raiders because I was only playing it twice a week. I was doing it as like one daytime stream and then maybe like one night stream, all right? So only playing it for around 4 or 5 hours a week, people were starting to actually say, we like it, but you're basically just not getting far enough in. You're not learning enough at a rapid enough pace. If you play it so slowly, the hype for this game is going to die out. All right? And I said, all right, fair enough. Since people are now saying that, I think what we'll do is we'll play it a little more. Maybe this week we'll do an experiment. Let's try to play Arc Raiders 3 times instead of 2. Now, to be clear, Arc Raiders has done very well on this channel when it comes to the streams. Usually when I play Arc Raiders, we get good attendance, good engagement, and pretty good support. It hasn't always been well supported, but for the most part, it does well with support when I play it. Okay? So, this week, I decided I'm going to play it 3 times. We did it as the daytime stream on Sunday, the late stream last night, and I'm playing it as the daytime stream tomorrow. Well, when I played it last night, guess what? Attendance was low, engagement was pretty low, and support was the lowest it's ever been for Arc Raiders. We didn't even hit $100. I think we were at like $70. That's it. That stream of Arc Raiders last night did worse than Quarantine Zone, Hytale, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It even did worse than the stream of the Disappointing Games Countdown and Pokemon last week. That was the worst performing stream that I've had this year. All right? That's a horrible sign. What that tells me is that I made a miscalculation. That playing it so close, I just played it Sunday, then I played it Tuesday, now I'm playing it again Thursday, right? That's not good. That means that I probably shouldn't be playing it that much. And the feedback that I was getting, although it may apply to the level of the gameplay. Meaning, yeah, me playing this game 3 times a week means I'll do better. and ultimately I'll get better runs, I'll get more loot, I'll learn faster. At the same time, I don't think that the market will bear it. And what I mean by that is the people who show up for Arc Raiders to engage and support it aren't going to be around for 3-4 streams a week. They don't even want to come by every other day. They want to be here maybe a few times casually to watch it, and that's how it's been, and that's how they're used to watching it. So now me playing it 3 times a week and different time slots, it's not going to work. And that sucks, because I was hoping that it would. I was hoping that doing more of what people wanted would work, but it didn't work. All right? So I think I made a mistake. And again, this is an experiment. That's fine. When I'm experimenting and I'm trying things to see if it works or not, it's totally fine if something doesn't work. I don't think that Arc Raiders 3 times a week is going to work. I think that maybe twice a week at most is what we want to do, and we want to space it out so it's not every other day. So maybe I do it once earlier in the week, once later in the week, something like that. Okay? Now, there's another element that's been going on with Arc Raiders recently. Okay? So, when I played it on Sunday, out of nowhere, a YouTuber contacted me. Now, to be clear, I have never spoken with the YouTuber Repzion ever. I know nothing about this guy whatsoever, okay? And it was out of the blue. In fact, you know what? Rather than do it this way, let's do it this way. Okay? Makes sense to do this full screen since I want to give a little bit of background of what's going up with this, okay? So, I don't know who Repzion is. I don't know what kind of content he makes. I've literally not seen a single one of his videos. I know nothing about the guy. Okay? At all. Last Friday, I was playing Street Fighter 6 Friday Night Fights for the first time in a year. And he appears on my stream talking in the chat saying that he wants to play me in Street Fighter 6 and for $50. He says, if I give you $50, will you run a set with me? And I was like, that's weird. Like if a YouTuber who has a verified check mark shows up in your chat, usually the first thing that they don't say is, hey, I'd like to play you in a set of the game you're playing for $50. Normally they'd be like, hi, how you doing? Hi, I'm a YouTuber, you know, and I like your content or something like that. Instead, he just shows up and challenges me. I'm like, huh? So basically I was like, I'm not sure what this guy's game is. And he basically said, oh, I have a gift card, a $50 gift card to Chili's. And I was like, dude, I don't need a $50 gift card to Chili's. If you want to run a set and you're another YouTuber, I'm okay with that. If you guys remember, a year or two ago, I made the public challenge in Street Fighter 6, and I said, I will play other YouTubers and the like in this game. They just have to have the balls to challenge me. Not a single YouTuber stood up. No one. The FGC wants nothing to do with me because they're a bunch of pussies. Mostly because I'm better than a lot of them, and they don't want to admit that. If I beat them, they're going to be embarrassed as someone who is known as the black sheep of the FGC, even though I'm not part of that. You know, oh God, DSP beat me. Now they're going to look embarrassed, okay? I was actually pretty good at Street Fighter 6 for a while there, having a ton of characters in Master. And a lot of people who streamed the game weren't even as good as I was, all right? But no one stepped up and said they wanted to play Street Fighter 6 against me at all. They all just pussied out. So I always did random sets or whatever, okay? So this guy's showing up, and he says, I want to challenge you or whatever. I'm like, I'll play him. I don't give a shit. We'll play right now. Even if I lose, who gives a shit? It'll be a good warm-up, a good return to the series. But as I told him that, he goes, oh, well, the game's not downloaded, and my internet's slow, and it says it's not going to be ready for 2 hours. And I said, well, I'm not streaming for another 2 hours, but I am playing this probably next week as well. So we'll come back maybe on, you know, for Friday next week and we could play. And then he said, all right, and that was it. Like, I didn't talk to him again that night. So then on Sunday, this Sunday, my first stream of the week, it's Arc Raiders. And I'm playing Arc Raiders, and this guy shows up again. And he goes, oh, I play this. I sent you a DM on X. Can you check it out? So I check out the DM, and he goes, oh, can I have your Embark ID code so that I can be a friend on your list, and then we can do, like, co-op together in this game? Now, again, keep in mind, I've never spoken with this guy outside of the chat we had on Friday during Friday Night Fights. I don't know what kind of content he makes. I don't know why he would want to team up with me. Okay? So I was like, what the hell? Basically everyone in the chat's egging me on. All right? Everyone's egging me on. Do it. It's a collab. You never do collabs. You never do co-op. Do it. All right, fine. Since the whole chat's egging me on, I'll give it a shot. So I accept his request, or I sent him a request, whatever it is. We got on each other's friends list. He then goes, oh, by the way, he's on mic. He goes, oh, I played this like over 200 hours. I'm really, really good at it. I have like insane amounts of extra loot and stuff and money. And I'm like, so why does this guy want to play with me? I've played the game around 20 hours at that point, right? I'm just a casual player. I play it twice a week. I'm not some hardcore player. And I even asked him during the stream, I was like, dude, you must do well streaming this then. If you played it that much. He goes, oh, no, I don't stream this game. You played over 200 hours of Arc Raiders. You didn't stream any of it. And he goes, no, I have a job offline. I don't actually, like, streaming's not my full-time thing anymore. Oh, well, that's shocking to hear. If you were a popular YouTuber, prominent or whatever, right? And now you decided, I guess you want to have an offline life. I guess that's cool, you know? But I love what I do. That's why I'm going to try to do it as long as I possibly can as my job. So, anyway. We did a run in Stellamontis, and he basically put me on a tour of Stellamontis, showing me where the rarest stuff is. It's in the assembly area. He showed me certain loot, and he actually showed me a secret area where you can jump and get a hidden weapon and stuff. I was like, oh, cool. But then we ended up getting killed. And what I actually found out is when you do duos, there's a ton of PvP. Like, people are PvPing like crazy, killing each other and trying to steal each other's loot. Notably, if you kill a tough enemy like a Bastion or whatever, you're going to probably get murdered for the loot. So it sucked because, like, I lost stuff during the run. I lost weapons and shit. And, like, damn, that's not good, right? I did get a few epic items. I put them into my safety pouch or whatever. But it actually, like, destroyed my weapon load. I was like, that sucks, right? So, anyway, we did the one match, and that was it. And everyone, had reactions to it. Some people thought that it was really cool that I did co-op with someone for the first time in 100 years. Other people were like, immediately, what's this guy's game? Why would out of nowhere, out of the blue, he's on your Street Fighter 6 stream, he wants to play. He's on your Arc Raider stream, he wants to play. He claims that he wants to co-op with you now in this game, and this is weird. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with everyone. I'll agree. That's weird, right? It would have been one thing if he had reached out behind the scenes and he had talked to me about it and said, hey, I like your content or whatever, and it looked, I see that you're playing this game that I'm good at, and I would like to help you. And we had a discussion behind the scenes about it, and then we set it up or whatever. But this is just like on the fly. The guy shows up out of nowhere and does this run, okay? Now, here's the thing. I actually don't know anything else about this guy or if he's ever going to show up again or whatever. Yesterday night, I'm playing Arc Raiders on the late stream. And I've almost done with my stream. In fact, I've played it all night, and we have like one drop left, one run left. Out of nowhere again, he shows up on my stream in chat. Hey, I want to do a drop with you. I got time for one. Like, well, I only have time for one. We got to hurry up if we're going to do it or not. So we hurried up and we set it up. And this time we went to space, whatever it's called, like the spaceship launching pad. I forget what the name of the stage is. And he goes, well, what do you really need? I said, honestly, I need a few parts. Like, I need the, not the scouter. I forget what it's called. The rolling ball guy that's really elusive. I need more parts for him. I need leaper cores. I definitely need Bastion batteries or cells or whatever they're called, because I've literally never killed a Bastion before. And he goes, all right, let's go. Let's kill a Bastion. All right, if you think you're confident you can do it. And he showed me how to do it. What you got to do is you lure one to an area where it can't hit you. You just peek out and you keep shooting it in the kneecap till the knee gets disabled. Once it's disabled, you climb up on top, you put a mine on its head, you jump off and run away, and the mine will blow up and insta-kill the Bastion. So we were able to loot the Bastion together, and I got all of the Bastion cells I needed to do an upgrade in one shot. I was like, holy crap, that's incredibly useful. So I thanked the guy, and basically after that, he dipped, and that was it. Now, I'm playing, Arc Raiders again tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to show up or not. I haven't spoken with him at all. If he shows up, do we do more co-op or not? The thing is, it's more like am I learning when I play with Repzion? Yes. I'm learning new areas, secret areas to find items. And I had no clue how to fight the Bastion, and he basically showed me a really effective way to take down a Bastion for myself. So that's great. But at the same time, let's be very honest about here. I'm being carried. It's not like I'm slowly, sequentially getting better. I'm literally getting handheld. I would compare it to, if you remember many years ago, I was absolutely awful at FromSoft games. I just sucked at them. I didn't understand them or their elements. And then after basically having quit Dark Souls, I later on decided to be a live streamer. And when I started live streaming, people showed interest in having me return to Dark Souls and guiding me through it. And that's exactly what happened. I would summon and people would guide me through the whole game, carrying me through all the areas, the secrets, the bosses, so I could basically see the whole game. And once I saw Dark Souls for what it really was, the incredible amount of content that it had. Is it playing the same song again? It is, isn't it? I'm going to play some different music. For some reason, it keeps playing the same few songs today, and I don't want that, so we'll change the music up. So basically, after having a tour of Dark Souls, I understood more what the game was. And I was like, oh, I like this game. I want to actually try to play it for myself and learn it now. And then I did. And now to this day, I play all the big FromSoft games. I enjoy them. I love them. I do well at them. The playthroughs are great. So, if anything, if you look at the situation and you're like, well, if Phil sometimes gets exposure to things he doesn't understand in a franchise he could do better, then maybe teaming up with someone like Repzion in a game like Arc Raiders, right, would work out. Maybe I'd actually do way better and I'd learn and I'd improve my gameplay and all of that. At the same time, that's not legitimately learning the game either. That's just literally being carried and getting an accelerated tutoring, right? Getting coached, essentially, into knowing how to play the game better. Is that a better way to go about it? I don't know. It's not that people were complaining about what I was doing at all in Arc Raiders. People seem to be enjoying it. And to be honest, yeah, when this guy shows up and he's like, oh, I want to do co-op, it seems like that's all anyone starts talking about. Instead of it being me doing a run or, you know, I mean, oh, you got to do the co-op. You got to team up with this guy, do the co-op, right? So here's the thing. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. I might play Arc Raiders and the guy never shows up and that's fine. I just do a normal stream. Or he might show up and want to do co-op, and now what do? Do I keep playing co-op and get my hand held? I don't know, right? Now, here's the other thing, too. Can we be honest here? No one here is stupid. We know that there's some underlying reason the guy's doing it. And it's not because it's the kindness of his own heart, and the guy all of a sudden mysteriously got turned on to me and my content, and he likes me now, and he wants to help me game. I mean, originally, he challenged me on Friday for a $50 match in Street Fighter 6. What gives about that? The guy isn't a competitive fighting game player. So what made him want to do that? That doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Now all of a sudden he's actually good at Arc Raiders and he decides that he wants to play Arc Raiders with me all the time and help me out in it. Let's be honest, it's suspect. Okay? It's suspect. Right? Is it not? Now here's the funny part about all of this, because some people are saying things like, well, the reason that he's doing this is because he's working on trying to snake you. He's going to try to ask you for an interview. He's going to try to get in with you to get insider information. Right now, there's conspiracy theorists in the Kick chat saying, he's working with Kino Casino. He's secretly working with Keemstar. They're all trying to get stuff on you, Phil. They're all working against you. Listen, I've been through a lot in all the time that I've been a YouTuber and a creator. I'm not going to rule it out, all right? But at the very same time, there has been absolutely zero discussion about anything whatsoever outside of just doing some co-op in a game. Zero. He has not said a word to me behind the scenes about anything, okay? Right now, if he were to say to me, hey, you want to do an interview? You know what I would say? No. I have no desire to do an interview. I'm good. I'm making content. I'm doing good for myself. I want to keep making said content. I have no desire to do any kind of an interview right now. You know, I would say the one thing I'm kind of interested in, if Asmongold decides to do his podcast, that's gaming related topics and stuff, I would love to be on that show. But outside of that, I'm not looking to do any interviews about my personal life, drama, or anything like that. That's, you know, I'm doing good. Why would I want to invite that kind of attention again? You know what I'm saying? In addition, can we be honest here? Let's be honest together. Have I gotten any kind of a massive attention boost, popularity boost positivity in regards to doing 2 team-ups with Repzion? No. I don't think the guy has that kind of clout. I don't think that guy has that kind of attention on himself, that because I'm doing gameplay with this guy, that all of a sudden he gets a booster, I get a booster, anything like that. Has it been fun? Yes. To learn more about Arc Raiders at an accelerated rate? Yes, absolutely. That's been fun as heck, I would say. I didn't know how to take down a Bastion. Now I do. I didn't know about the secrets in Stellamontis. So, you know. So here's the thing, and I guess this is what I have to propose to all of you. Okay? What do you guys think? Right now, I don't see any harm whatsoever in just doing co-op with a guy. But also, I don't want it to become too dominant of the content. Like, let's say, for example, tomorrow, I boot up Arc Raiders, and he shows up, and he goes, I want to do co-op. Maybe I'll do a couple drops with him, but, like, I don't want the whole stream for me to be co-op with this guy. Because, again, every time I play with him, I'm getting my hand held. So, I don't want it to be, oh, Phil gets guided through a 3-hour stream of Arc Raiders. I honestly think that would be boring as tears. You want to see me play for myself, legitimately get loot, earn it, struggle to get it, right? Yesterday's stream was a good one because I had 3 amazing quick runs, and then all of a sudden, I got screwed. The game got me, you know, the Bombardier or whatever it's called, destroyed me, and I lost weapons and stuff. Like, oh, man. So, but then I came back after it. That's the drama of the stream. That's what works. That's what makes it entertaining. Not, oh, I joined with a guy, and the guy literally held my hand as we ran through the whole thing, and he saved my ass several times and gave me a bunch of loot to take home. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's even not really the spirit of the game, right? So, right now, what are my feelings? Casually playing with this guy in Arc Raiders is fun, but I don't want to do it nonstop. Like, maybe every once in a while we would do it, but I don't think that we're going to be doing it all the time. Like, tomorrow, if the guy wants to do a drop or whatever, maybe I'll do one, but I don't want to have the whole stream be that. You know what I'm saying? And in regards to this, again, the thing that's kind of the red flag, why did he show up on Friday and challenge me to Street Fighter 6? That's just so bizarre that would happen. This guy's not a fighting game player. He doesn't even have the game installed, right? And all of a sudden he wants to challenge me to a set in Street Fighter 6. You know what's going to happen if I play him in Street Fighter 6? I'm going to destroy him. I'm literally going to demolish the guy. He probably won't win a round. Seriously. So, I don't even understand. Like, where did that come from? You know? So, what do you guys think? Here, I would love feedback. You guys know better than me. What do you guys know about Repzion? Do you think he's trustworthy to do co-op with? Do you think he's actually laying out a ginormous master plan behind the scenes to snake me? What do you think? Because here's the truth. Everyone's going to send Repzion clips of this discussion right now. He's going to be well aware that we just had it publicly. So it's on him now to figure out what he wants to do. And quite frankly, if he had any underlying, you know, purpose to wanting to do co-op, it's been destroyed. Like I already said, I'm not going to be doing an interview. I'm not going to be giving the guy insider info about my life. It's not going to pan out to be anything that's you know, that kind of content for him. So if he was even thinking about doing that, that hope has already been dashed, right? So let's see what happens, I guess. You know, again, I don't talk to him. So I have absolutely no clue if this guy would be interested in showing up again tomorrow to do more or whatever or not. So I guess we'll have to see, right? Okay. See, everyone has a different opinion. Some people are saying, yes, the guy's outright trying to snake you, and he's trying to mess with you. Some people are saying, no, this guy maybe just actually is a fan of yours, and he just wanted to do some co-op with you. And others are like, maybe it's somewhere in between, where he is hoping that eventually he can get something out of it, but we don't think that it's malicious intent. So, there you go. Ultimately, there's only one person who can actually answer these questions, and his name is Repzion. And I'm sure that he can answer it for himself. Like, the truth is, I don't even want to have him come on my stream and answer the question. I don't care. But I've made my case that, like, I'm not going to be doing drama content. I'm not going to be doing an interview. Like, that's not happening. So, I'm here making my own gameplay content. And if the guy does show up and he wants to do a drop or whatever, I'm okay with it. If he actually shows up for Street Fighter 6 on Friday, he's like, hey, I downloaded the game and I want to do a set with you. Yeah, I'll play him a set quick. I'll probably wipe the floor with him. It's Street Fighter. You know, I've been playing it nonstop since I was a kid. I'm probably going to destroy the poor guy. But I'm I'm not going to make every art creator stream all about him, because then the content I feel will be negatively affected. And at the same time, I haven't seen any giant positive impact from co-op with the guy anyway, besides me learning more about the game, which is cool. But it's not like, oh, Phil, did you see the giant popularity boost you got because you collabed with Repzion? No, I haven't. So I don't really think there is one. I think it's just something fun to do, right? Is that fair enough? Does that make sense? I just wanted to get this out there because people have been talking about this. And they've been, bringing it up, and I'm like, I don't know anything. Like, I literally don't know anything, and I'm not part of this. So, okay. All right. So let's go. A couple quick. What's up, Game Boy? How you doing? I know Game Boy's been trying to say hi to me all morning, and I've been talking and busy on the podcast. So, all right. Let's do some shout outs, shall we? We got some shout outs to get through. Let's do some open Q&A. Let's chill. Let's have a good time for the rest of the show, shall we? Okay. So we have Fish Tank Big Boss, who did a $2 super chat. Food review streams, glorious return of Lego stream. So he's asking about this certain kinds of content. Number one, DSP Tries It returns next week. I'm going to do one on Monday, and it's going to be a brand new sandwich that they're offering now at Jersey Mike's as of Friday. It's a grilled Italian sandwich where they're taking the ingredients that would be on an Italian sandwich and they're actually putting it on a grill and cooking the meat and then putting it on the sandwich with melted cheese and all of that. I think it's going to be pretty good. It sounds good. So we're going to try that on Monday. That's the next DSP Tries It. After that, we've already talked about the last couple of days, some ideas. Wendy's has brand new chicken tenders and dipping sauces. So maybe I would order some of those and try different sauces with the tenders. Taco Bell has a new double dipper mini steak burrito thing where there's two smaller burritos. You dip them in sauces as well. But also they brought back the quesarito, which apparently they haven't had for a while. So maybe we could do a double episode where we do the quesarito and the dipping burritos all at once. On top of all of that, we've already talked about the possibility of trying Papa Murphy's. So Papa Murphy's is an American, and I think they're international too, but they're an American pizza chain where the pizza's not baked. They give you a pizza that's unbaked but has all the toppings on it, and you bring it home, you bake it yourself, and then you try it. So maybe I'll try that too. So we have these ideas, but Jersey Mike's is next week, and then after that we can start to plan out what the next ones will be. Okay? Fair enough? So it is coming. DSP Tries It is coming back. Lego? Now, we have a Lego to build. We have the Lego Super Mario World, which is Mario riding Yoshi. I would like to do it. The question is when? When's the perfect time for that? Will people show up and engage and support with that? And when I do it, for the record, I would actually like to try and maybe use my Rode mics. And what I would do is have the mic in a position here somewhere where it's either right on my neck or somewhere where it's pointed right at me, and see if it sounds good to be, because when I'm doing the Legos, I'm going to literally be sitting here building it on this table the whole time. So maybe it makes more sense to have a mic where I can move around and you can still hear me, as opposed to the mic where I have to keep turning it back and forth and all that. I would maybe like to give these a test, see how they work. So would I like to do it? Yes. Should I do it next week? What do you guys think? Should I bring back Lego nights next week? We'll do an exploratory night where we do Legos of trying to build the Super Mario Lego. Now, the thing is, it's 1,200 pieces. We're not doing it in one night. In fact, it's going to probably take a minimum of 3 streams to build that thing, okay? But I'd be down to do that if you guys are interested, okay? Are you interested? What do you think? Let me know. Give me feedback. Your feedback is critical to knowing what to do. I would like to know if that's what you would like next week or not. Should we do a chill night stream of building that Lego for a couple of hours? Would you? By the way, I'll have music. That was the number one complaint that I had last year when I was doing the Lego nights, is that people said because it was silent during those streams, they hated it. They wanted music and background noise when I was doing it, and it was done. Now we have background music. So we can play this fun music during the night. We could even change the vibe. People will be like, this is kind of too slow. Can you play something more upbeat? And I'll play more exciting music. We want more chill vibes. Can we lower it? And we go back to the chill playlist, right? We could do that, okay? So That's cool, right? So let me know what you think. All right. And we will consider doing that next week on a late stream, and let's talk about it, and maybe like middle of next week, okay? But we'll see. Okay. A whole bunch of tips have come in, but I haven't looked at a single one. Let's take a look. First tip here. Someone did $1.89 tip. Why $1.89? That's the weirdest amount. Well, let me get this on the leaderboard. I don't know why it's $1.89. It's bizarre. Anyway. So they said, could it be your reach is limited to around 1,000 views max per upload on average? Perhaps trying new thumbnails or asking people to watch the videos will lead to more views. I rarely see you break past 500. You could probably make big changes. When I play a new game that's a high-profile game, like a AAA release, it always breaks several thousand views. It depends on the game, but even a game like Expedition 33 last year, I have 3,000-4,000 views on part 1, okay? Bigger games, I'll get more than that, all right? Indie games and stuff like that, I don't think I'm ever going to get big views because that doesn't bring in the mainstream audience. You have to understand that there is absolutely an audience that comes by just to see me play the big games for a bit, and then they go away again. And that's an audience that I've had since day one, all right? Once you get to the longer parts of a playthrough, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to even get 300 views on a video for when you're doing part 60 of a playthrough. It's, you know, it's nearly impossible. The good news is the streaming audience is usually pretty consistent. Like for Pokemon, we're still getting people coming by and hanging out and engaging and supporting with Pokemon, despite the fact that we're, 60 parts in. It's still a good, solid, audience. So at that point, it's not really about the views on the on-demand video, all right? What you're saying, experiment with the thumbnails and all that, I already done that. I've already changed my thumbnails multiple times over the years. I've changed my titling over the years. Everyone says you have to put DSP in every title now, and I do. DSP is literally in every title. I changed the name of my series. Now it's not playthrough, it's DSP plays it. So my name's right in the title, all right? The thumbnails have changed dramatically. It doesn't affect anything. If you can't hit the algorithm legit, like if YouTube will not put your video into the algorithm to be fairly found, you'll never get a new audience. You'll just have the same audience, and that's what it is. I have the same audience pretty much for everything. Some people show up for this content, some people show up for that content, but it's not always the same people showing up for the same content. On average, do I have 1,000 viewers? I don't even know. I would say it depends on the game. Some games you get more, some games you get less, but the longer I play a game, the less there is. They get bored, they move on, they want something fresh. It's not really rocket science at this point. Okay? Okay. Someone tipped a buck, says, well, if he invites you to a Hulk Hogan bar and asks to see your underwear, I think it might be suspect. Yeah, I know. There are some red flags that are pretty apparent, and, you're absolutely right. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet. Luckily, it's been kept basically just to the game stuff, right? Which is pretty much better for everyone, I think. Let's see here. I got a $1.11 tip from someone saying something stupid. Thanks for $1.11. I got another $1.11 tip again from someone who's saying something stupid. Thanks for $1.11. And I got a $1.11 tip from someone who says I should open a P.O. box for fan mail. No. I had a P.O. box for fan mail many years ago when I was actually popular and not, someone who's just derided on the internet all the time. And the P.O. box was useful about 20% of the time. What do I mean by that? I mean, people would send me fan art, which was really nice. People every once in a while would donate a game or something. That was really nice. But for the most part, it was just a bunch of junk. People would send me stuff I never asked for, and I don't know why they're sending it to me. People would just sign up the P.O. box for junk mail, and I end up getting insane amounts of magazines and mailings and things that I don't want. After a while, the P.O. box would be full of crap, and I'd have to go empty it out, and literally, I would not take a single piece home because it was all junk. It was like, what did I have this for? And P.O. boxes are not cheap. They cost at least a couple $100 a year, if not more. I'm sure today, it was a decade ago I had one. Today, they probably cost like $300, $400 a year. How much you want to bet? So, yeah, I'm not getting a P.O. box. I don't have a reason for it. Like I said, if anyone was ever interested in possibly sending me something, like let's say you had something you wanted to donate, right, or something like that, contact me behind the scenes. You can DM me on X. You can email me, darksidephil@hotmail.com. Let's talk about it and make sure that it's something that I would want or need. And if we agree to it mutually, then fine. But I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. If you just send me something and I don't know what it is, it goes directly into the trash. It doesn't matter if it's an envelope. It doesn't matter if it's a giant mailer. It doesn't matter if it's a box. It doesn't matter if it's a giant crate. If something arrives in my mail or on my doorstep and I don't know what it is, I throw it away. And this has been a policy that has served me very well for the last decade. At a time when people think that it's funny to try to mess with people and do horrible things to people, I'm sure there's probably been attempts. I've never been affected by any of it, because if I get something and I don't know what it is, it's in the trash without exception, never opened, never looked at, disposed of, and done. All right, so you're just wasting your own time. Don't send me stuff without asking. It's going to get deposited into the circular file cabinet, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Some super chats here. We have Shorn8706 with a £2 super chat. And they said, DSB tries it fent. It'll be so beast. Trust. Yeah, you want me to do fentanyl? No. I will not be doing fentanyl. Sorry. I know that might be disappointing to you, but I'm not going to be doing drugs. However, thank you for the super chat. That's $2.69. So what is that? What was his name? Shorn8706. And then I got a $2 super chat from Ray Rays. What's going on, Ray Rays? Good to see ya. Would you go back to Code Violet given the views? I can't play it until they fix it. Like, you have to understand that you saw what happened in my run. It's not playable. Some people, the thing is about Code Violet. Apparently the game is completely random with the bugs you get. Some people played Code Violet and never had an issue with any item in their inventory and were able to easily get past the first area. Some people played it and never bled out at any time. Never bled. So because of that, they got past the first area. For me, I got all of the above. Like, I got every bug possible. I got inventory you can't use, inventory that won't combine, inventory that, well, not getting the right inventory to stop the bleeding, getting bleeding repeatedly. I could keep going. Like, it was like every possible bug happened, and I couldn't get past the first area. It was over an hour. I don't want to do the area again. So there's a couple situations where I would play Code Violet again. Number one, if they add manual saves, so you can save whenever you want and reload. If you're bleeding, if the game has an issue, I want to be able to just load it immediately and try again. I don't want to start the starter area from the beginning and have to replay 20, 30 minutes of gameplay over and over because the game is a piece of dog shit that doesn't save. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if they patch out the bugs. So if the bleeding is able to be stopped with a healing item rather than with a tourniquet that doesn't exist in the game. If maybe the bleeding just doesn't happen in the first area, whatever it may be. Unless they improve the game, there's no way to pass it. You understand? Like, you saw the gameplay, did you not? It's not playable for me. Others, like I said, they apparently got lucky and it wasn't nearly as bad. I'm just not that lucky. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't get it to function. So there's no way for me to play Code Violet again. As much as I would like to make more content with it and be entertaining to you, I can't make a game that doesn't work. So, no, I'm not going to waste more time. I'm going to play other stuff until we know that it's fixed, and then I'll go back and play it. If they never fix it, that's pretty messed up because there's no way to get a refund. Like, Sony outright has blocked the efforts of people trying to get refunds for this thing, which is nonsense. They should be granting them all. So, I don't know what else to say. Okay? All right, so that's all I had to talk about for today's podcast. I'm going to open it up to Q&A, but before I do, FYI, today's Pokemon. During my Pokemon Legends streams, for a $20 contribution, you can either name a Pokemon, and if you do that, that Pokemon will be added to my party for the rest of the stream, or you can decide if you want an existing Pokemon to be in my party for the rest of the stream. That's actually been a very popular one where people have favorite Pokemon that they want for a particular stream, and they'll contribute to that stream to keep them in the party. So far, we've got nothing. So there's open availability to be in the party. Let's see what happens. Again, it's for a $20 contribution of any kind, whether that's a tip or a bunch of subs or memberships or a super chat or kicks or whatever it is. All right, you can do it. Okay? All right. In the meantime, please, whoops, I just punched my microphone. Please support the content. All right? This morning, number one, if you're here live on the stream and you enjoyed the podcast, please give this stream a like. Let's get some engagement on YouTube. If we get engagement, all right, we can actually get some people to show my stuff in the algorithm. That's the problem. Now, why do you think Hytale didn't get any views? Because it's not in the algorithm and no one's seeing it outside of my core subscriber base. Let's get some support for the channel, right? And let's get it going. Now, in addition to that, please like these videos and leave comments on them if you watch them on demand. All right? I absolutely would love... Oh, nice. Thank you, Cabal. I absolutely would love if people would engage with the content offline, because you do, and you have, and it's been helping this channel. So please keep engaging. Keep liking the videos and leaving comments. That helps a ton, and thank you to those who are. If you haven't noticed, in the comments, I'm interacting with people a lot. I'm liking your comments. I'm favoring them. I appreciate you guys engaging. Please do so. All right? Now, if you're here live, please support the stream. That means super chats and memberships and gifted memberships on the YouTube side. That means kicks, subs, and gifted subs on the kick side. And that means tips via PayPal. Being that we just had the slowest Arc Raider stream ever, all right? And I did experimental streams with the indie games that did good but not great. It would be good if we could have a great Pokemon stream, right? I want to come back from that. I want to get the momentum back. Let's have a great, well-supported Pokemon stream today. And let's get it going for Pokemon. Okay. Thank you. So Cabal did a 20-pound super chat. Thank you to Cabal for that. Let's see how much that actually is. $26.86. Thank you so much, Cabal. That shoots us right up to $47 of support. Thank you. And he says, this is for Jade. Also looking forward to Pokopia in March. So, first of all, what he's saying is if Jade is still around, which I don't know if he is right now, but I'm sure he'll be here for Pokemon, Jade will get to either name a Pokemon or select a Pokemon to be in the party today. So thank you, Cabal, for that. I appreciate that. Now, as for Pokopia in March, you may not be aware, Pokopia is a new game coming out in March for Switch 2. It is a game that is a hybrid of Pokemon and Animal Crossing. It's literally a virtual town with Pokemon in it, and you're responsible for running it. So it's an interesting premise for sure. I don't know if it's going to translate into a game that's great or boring, but absolutely I would give it a go. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I try it? When I have a Switch 2, it's going to be a big release people are going to be talking about and want to know if it's good. I'm willing to give it a shot for you guys and testing it out and seeing if it's any good. Okay? So let's see how it goes. All right? I'm interested in that one for sure. It's even on my release list. Good stuff. Okay, so everybody. Now is the time. If you want to talk and interact and do some Q&A, tag me in either chat. Let's have some back and forth to end the show and see what's on your mind. What's going on in your mind, everybody? Any feedback to anything that we just talked about today? Let's hear what you guys have to say. Snake Sauce Reloaded is using the Phil Dancing Banana Emote. Very nice. Will I try the Steakhouse Whopper for DSP tries it?
No, I don't think so.
Reason being, it's not a new sandwich. It's just the Whopper with Swiss cheese, which they've done before, bacon, which they've done before, onion rings, which they've done before, and a peppercorn sauce. Ooh, guess what? They did that before too. That was on a sandwich before too. So all they're doing is they're combining existing ingredients and claiming it's a new sandwich. It's not. This would be the equivalent if Taco Bell had a taco and they said, oh, instead of beef in the taco, we're just going to put steak pieces. And then we're going to add a different flavor of cheese that we have in other stuff. And we're going to say it's the new steak and cheese taco. But it's just steak and cheese. You already have that. Oh, but it's a steak and cheese taco. You're an idiot. It's not a new item. It's garbage. You're a fucker who's trying to mess with your customer base and false advertise, trying to sell something that's not new. So, no, I have absolutely no desire to try the Steakhouse Whopper. It's the same fucking sandwich that we've all eaten a million times. It's not going to taste any different. It's just this different combination of ingredients, but it's the same shit. You know what I mean? Debo says, but it's the same with Jersey Mike's. That's incorrect. Jersey Mike's has never grilled anything but their chicken and their steak before. They have never grilled a normal sandwich. This is the first time they're actually putting a sandwich and the meats on the grill and then selling it to you as a hot melted sandwich. That does not happen. So it actually is a new version of a product that has never been available before. That's the difference. No, I don't think I will be in the Maryland area this year for any reason. Sorry. Am I still pretending that I work out? No, stupid. I am working out. In fact, I worked out last night. So far, since I worked out, let me see. I worked out Sunday night and I worked out Tuesday night. And I'm going to work out tomorrow night. Yep. I'm kind of alternating them. Okay, now the glitch resolved itself. That was really weird. Thank you to Starboy, who has gifted a sub on Kick. Thank you for that. This week, sadly, Kick support's been way low again. It's up and down on Kick, and some weeks it's way better than others. This week, again, it's been bad. I think at this point we have, let me see. We literally have 12 gifted subs all week, and I've been streaming since Sunday. So in 3 days, I only got 12 gifteds. That's it. So yeah, Kick's been bad this week. If you're on Kick and you like the content, please support it today. I streamed it for a reason. It has been profitable, but it seems like it's really up and down over there. Thank you, Satan. He likes my sweater. Jay Kuma, don't worry. He says, I don't really care for Legos, but I'll be honest, I think you should play new early access games whenever they're available, but just for one stream unless it gets popular. I'm okay with that. I'm down for that. 100%, I'm in agreement with you. Just because we played Hytale and that one didn't catch on doesn't mean that I'm not going to do more in the future. That was an experiment. That particular game isn't working. That doesn't mean more won't. Or more will or won't in the future. Like, I don't take that as one example representative of everything that will go on moving forward. In fact, I would argue the stream did fine, but I just know based on all this stuff not to do more, right? So there you go. Okay. Anything else, everybody? What else is on your mind today? No, I'm not buying the $700 Lego Pokemon set. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of what would I do with it. Right? You sure? You know it's going to be like 5,000 pieces. I'll never build the thing. No, I'm not playing Code Vein 2. I have zero interest. Absolute zero. No, I've never done stand-up comedy. Now someone's spamming, Repzion is disrespecting you on Twitter. He's disrespecting you. Oh, I'm on the wrong window. Hold on. Okay, where is he disrespecting me on Twitter? Let's see if this is true. I'm sure he's not. Absolutely not. A complete lie, as usual. People trying to cause drama and lying about it. What cologne am I wearing today? A very good one. I'm actually wearing an expensive one and a very good one today. When are we starting gameplay? After the podcast ends and we take a break. We always take a break after the podcast and before we start with the gameplay, so that way when I play the game, it's just 100% focusing on the game itself. Can I show you the progress of my guns? Today, no, because today I'm wearing this sweater, so you can't really see it through the sweater, right? You can't at all, right? You can't see the definition or anything. Don't worry. As we get closer to spring or whatever, and I'm going to be wearing, lighter, shorter sleeve clothes, then eventually you'll see it. But no, you cannot see it today. It's not possible. All right, anything else, guys? Let's go. Let's get some questions in. You barely asked me anything, unless you guys just have nothing to talk about today. I'm shocked. Usually you guys are very talkative. Nothing today? After all those topics of discussion, really? We have nothing to talk about. Will Frankie and Glacy be in the party today? I don't know. That depends. The people who contribute will contribute or not to have them stay in the party or not. So far, no. The only contribution for Pokemon has been from Cabal, and he said that when Jade shows up, Jade can control a Pokemon. That's it. So I don't know. Had I ever had a Curve Cologne? I've never heard of Curve Cologne. No. No, we are not doing ranked on Friday Night Fights. The idea is to try to play with all of my characters and get back into the game. So probably, I'm going to play Zangief and Blanca. Try to remember how to play with them. Then probably the week after, we pick another time. Maybe we go back to Lily and Honda again. And once I've played with each character a few times and I feel like I'm adjusted to the game again, then perhaps I'll go back to ranked. Like, I'm actually sad that Lily is only 1 diamond. That's just awful that my Lily is only 1-star diamond. She should definitely be master. But the PC screwed me. Remember when I played with her, the PC screwed me and I got a bunch of laggy-ass matches during her placement. So I got screwed over. And then that's why I never played with her again, because I didn't want to grind it out. I was so frustrated. No, I will not be entering a Renton Marathon in the spring. No. Where do I buy cologne from? Stores. Stores that sell product. I purchase cologne from the said stores. I do not wholesale. I get it actually from businesses that sell cologne. Jay says on Friday, I would love to see some 360s. Yes, let's bring back Zangief. Excuse me. I got to try to remember how to play with him. I kept thinking in my head, what was it that I was doing with him before I retired, essentially, from Street Fighter 6. And I think I'm starting to remember. I think we'll have to mess around with it a little bit. Do I ever receive cologne as a Christmas gift from my family? A few years ago, my wife got me the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. She got me that as a Christmas present, actually. But that's the only cologne that I've received as a present. Everything else I got for myself. What's my favorite DSP tries it that I've done with food? I mean, I can only remember the last year. And I was saying the last year, it was either Shake and Go or it was Jollibee. Both were absolutely outstanding. Like, insanely good stuff. Over the top. Surprisingly good. Couldn't believe how good they were. And my favorite episodes by far of 2025. Can we get a hint of what cologne I'm wearing? The first letter? C. Cologne is spelled C-O-L-O-G-N-E. The first letter is C. Rocky Tacular, what on earth are you talking about? He says, newer games will get better views on your YouTube channel like Code Violet or Quarantine Zone. Why kill that new game hype and forward momentum for things that are slower views-wise? Generating views, add new people is better than hoping to hit $150 on the will of people. What? You do realize that what you're mentioning, like, for example, my most popular video of the last, several months is this Code Violet video. So I think it has like 8,700 views on it right now. You do realize that video probably has made me $20, right? Right? You're aware of that, right? That's how it works. Ad revenue is not great. Overall views don't really matter. Just because someone saw your video, oh, look, and they gave it 1 click and 1 view, it doesn't necessarily help your channel. What you want is people who come back and want to hang out and engage and support with your content long term. People who actively say, hey, I like it so much, I'm actually going to send you a contribution. That's the end goal. Not, oh, I got a few thousand views on a video that was very short-term popular and then people move on. What you're suggesting is that literally if I just moved from new game to new game to new game constantly, and I didn't play any games for longer than, say, a session or two, that would be more successful than me ever going long-term with a game. And that's just not true. The truth is that there's got to be a balance. There's going to be games that I will play for long-term that have that ongoing viewer base of people who will show up every time to support it. And then there's going to be games that don't work that way, and you just go quick. And, okay, it didn't really work, and you move on to the next. Like, that's what I think what we're doing with Hytale. We tried it. Didn't really work that well with the audience. Okay, fine. Move on. Let's do some other stuff. But there's going to be games that work. Pokemon's definitely one of them. Okay? Definitely. Cracker Jack says, what's been your favorite purchase with the new setup minus the microphone and the music? I've said, even with all these improvements, because I've got a million improvements, like no exaggeration, the entire setup feels completely different now. And I know it's come through in the content, in the audio, the music, everything is looking, sounding, controlling better, right? I would say the one piece of equipment right now that I never even suspected would have had such a positive impact is the Roland Bridgecast audio interface. This thing, just on a whim, I can do visual effects or sound effects.
Like this, or it could sound like something crazy is going on with my voice on a whim. I don't remember to do it all the time, but when I do, it's pretty funny.
I can adjust all my volume levels on the fly right now, which previously I would have had to like mess around with knobs and settings and meters, but now I can just do them all here. I can instantly mute and unmute on the fly, and I've been doing this like if I have to clear my throat. I used to just look away from the mic to do it, but now being able to use the drop button has helped tremendously, okay? I can adjust volume levels on the fly for both my speakers in the room, but also my headphones, and I could swap between the two on the fly. I have the background music that you mentioned that we've adjusted and done stuff with, both in video, on stream. It's added a lot to the content, in my opinion. Surround sound. This cannot be emphasized more. Surround sound has been helping me tremendously in certain games, notably Arc Raiders, Call of Duty, and a few others. Having the surround sound is a key part of the gaming experience, and I haven't had surround sound in many, many years. And I finally got it back, and it sounds great. I am so glad that I got surround sound back. So this audio interface, honestly, was kind of an afterthought. Like, my main focus was, okay, I need the monitors, right? I need to have everything here at a glance, all these, chats and everything, and by the way, I would say that would be number two. The number two biggest upgrade has been this widescreen, ultra widescreen monitor, where everything is in front of me, and I can, maneuver between 3 different chats, contributions, emails, unbanning, currency conversions, monitoring the stream, seeing all at a glance. It's amazing, right? It's been such a humongous improvement to have this monitor right here, especially having it be maneuverable so I could still see it fully when I'm playing the games, okay? But this audio interface, I never, ever expected that it was going to have the positive impact that it has had. It is worth every penny that I put into it. I'm so happy that I got it, and I think it's going to help out, for a long time. All right, so very shortly, we're going to end the podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please support the stream. All right? We're about to head into Pokemon. I know many of you are going to take off because you're not interested in Pokemon. We've been playing Pokemon for an extended period of time. So, let's go. Let's get some support for the show right now before we get into Pokemon. What is the Rodecaster? I don't know what the Rodecaster is. It sounds like it's Rode, which is the company that made these portable microphones. But I don't know what the Rodecaster is. What's that? Dave, I haven't had real surround sound at all in 100 years. Because he's saying, does your headphone surround now with your Roland Bridgecast? Does that sound as good as if you had 5.1 surround and speakers all around you? I don't know. I haven't had 5.1 surround in over a decade. Like, since I moved, I haven't had 5.1 surround anywhere. So I really can't answer that question. The villain says, when you spray cologne, how much do you use? That all depends on the cologne. Because some colognes are way stronger than others. I don't know why, but they just are. Like, for example, oh God, I'm having a brain fart. Sauvage, Dior Sauvage. That thing is strong as heck. Really strong. So when you use Sauvage, you only do maybe one spray, maybe on the neck or the side of the neck. And then you would do, like, sometimes maybe I'll do like a spray on the chest or two. And then maybe if it's a weaker cologne, you put it on your wrists like this, and you could go like that, and then you put it on your neck like that. But you don't go crazy unless it's a weak cologne. There are some colognes that are weaker, in which case you maybe just want to go spray your whole body, because then that's the only way it's going to last. They die within an hour. But the stronger, better ones, oh man, you can't go crazy with those, because then they just permeate. You don't want to be, reeking of the cologne all day. No, I'm not doing HDR. We did some research into it. Most games that I play don't work with HDR at all. So me having it on doesn't benefit. And we actually did a direct test yesterday morning. So I had Clair Obscur booted up with HDR on and off, and it looked so much better with it off because it didn't support HDR. It looked washed out with it on. So I said, I'm just going to turn it off. RimWorld has HDR? That's ridiculous if true. That's pretty funny. Okay. All right, guys, I think that's it. We had a good show. Lots of topics covered. Obviously, now what I'd like is feedback. What do you think about Quarantine Zone and keeping it in the schedule? Because we're going to try it again tomorrow night. What do you think about Hytale and the fact that we're not going to play it again because it didn't really work? What do you think about what I said about co-op with Repzion and Arc Raiders and how much I'm playing it? I want feedback on all these topics to try to determine what to do moving forward. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please share them. All right. And the Level 1 podcast will return on Friday. As I've already stated, there's going to be a special Resident Evil presentation tomorrow afternoon. I'll be playing games, but I'm going to react to that during Friday's podcast on the show. So if you want my reactions to Resident Evil Requiem and the new stuff, come by on Friday morning. We're going to have a good time together. Okay, everybody? Sound good? All right. Thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate you all always coming by for the podcast. Thank you for chilling. And a great show. Hopefully we get some feedback on all these topics, and I will see you all on Friday for a week-ending episode. Thank you guys. See you then, and peace out.